everyone, hope you're doing alright. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building a werewolf family home, or a family home in general. Doesn't necessarily have to be for werewolves, but I did use the werewolf pack. I did say in my, was it like werewolf shack, werewolf summit video? It was the werewolf house that I did anyway. It was for a werewolf for the let's play that I'm doing. I did say in that video that I wanted to do like a family home or whatever, so that's what we've got today. I think this will be my last sort of werewolf and base game house that I do. Maybe not ever, but you know, if I get a video suggestion for it, then maybe, but for a while anyway. Just because, yeah, I don't really know what else to build with a pack, and I've got all these other ideas, and I don't want to like waste time trying to come up with new ideas and stuff. And there's also a new expansion pack coming out, so I need to like prepare my brain to come up with stuff for that. So yeah, this will probably be the last one that I do for a while. But yeah, basically it's a house for a family of werewolves, kind of, and I'll explain that in a second. So yeah, I built this on stream. If you do want to watch like me actually build the first half of it on stream, I also have a second channel where I upload my VODs. Obviously you don't have to if you don't want to. I know that's not for everybody, and it's basically just there for people that miss the streams. But yeah, I uploaded that there. I did intend on finishing the build on stream only. I weren't going to make a speed build out of it. I was going to make another family home for a werewolf family, but that ended up not working out, and basically my kid were ill, so I weren't able to stream. So yeah, didn't manage to finish it on stream, but never mind, made a speed build out of it. So yeah, but basically it's a 3-bedroom house and it fits up to 4 Sims. I also created a family for this house, and they are a family of 3 Sims, but yeah, it can fit up to 4. So yeah, I guess I'll talk about the build. Forgot what it was called then. I'm not actually going to talk about the family like too much because I'm going to do a cast video for them and I'll talk about them in that, but they are really cute. I love the idea of them. I actually wanted to play with them myself. They've got like an interesting little like backstory that I made, and yeah, the personalities are all pretty like cool and like kind of unique, but there's also room for like conflict and a bit of drama if that's what you're into. So yeah, whenever that video goes up, I'll post them to the gallery. But yeah, this is the house, and I also included some footage from the stream because I forgot to record the landscaping, and I just wanted to show you like what I did. So if it looks a bit zoomed in and a bit lower quality, that's why. This is just directly like screen recorded from the the stream, the live stream on Twitch. I could have downloaded it and I could have got the footage that way, but to be fair, it don't make that much of a difference because I stream in 720p. It's always going to be a bit lower quality if you like record it again, and then yeah, it's gonna look a bit shit, but you know, it is what it is. At least you get to see how I did the landscaping. And basically I just wanted it to look like natural with like wildflowers and like grass, and look a bit overgrown, but also like the Sims like kind of maintain it and make sure that it doesn't overgrow too much, but at the same time they're not really bothered. Like it's a natural sort of little ecosystem for the wildlife, I guess. But yeah, I kind of forgot to record it. I think I did record it, but I don't even know what happened with the footage. I looked on my OBS and I looked on my like files where all my recordings go, and I could have sworn I recorded it, but I guess not. So yeah, I don't really know what happened with it. But saying that, I did also record the voiceover for this video about, what time is it now? About 5 minutes ago. Went to check the recording and it wasn't there, and it turns out my microphone was muted the entire time. So I just talked about the build to nobody for however long this video is. I like did the full voiceover, went to edit it in place and everything. I'm like, where is it? Which happens more than I let on, to be fair. It happens often, but you know, we're sorted, we're recording now. I do keep looking over at my second monitor and I can see the like audio levels going up and that, so I'm definitely recording. Watch now though, it'll be like really shit quality for some reason. I'll have done something to my microphone to make it sound awful. But yeah, that's basically it for the landscaping. That's the idea behind it. Wanted it to be like a bit overgrown, but kind of like, I don't know, like unkempt, but not too unkempt. Is that a word? Is it unkept or is it unkempt? And is kempt a word? Like, I don't know, it's weird. I never hear that used outside of like books. Like I don't ever hear anybody like really say it. But yeah, anyway. For the interior, I kind of wanted like it to look a bit old-fashioned. I didn't really do much of the interior on stream. I think I just did the kitchen and the dining room. So by the time I got to doing the speed build for it, to kind of like finish off the... Did I actually mention why I'm doing a speed build of it when I streamed it? I think I did. Basically, I streamed it and I didn't get to stream it to finish it because life stuff got in the way, and yeah, I feel like I did mention it. My brain is all over the place today. I think it's because I've dyed my hair. And yeah, if you're watching this like, well, I thought you said you're not messing about with your hair again. Well, it were too gingery and something happened when I dyed it before. It just didn't take the colour. I think I didn't leave it on long enough. I don't know. I'm going to stop now though. I'm going to stop messing about with it. But yeah, maybe I've gassed myself out with the fumes because I am just not like thinking clearly today. My head's a bit like all over the place. But yeah, for the interior, I just wanted it to be like kind of old fashioned, kind of to look a little bit like they've got secondhand furniture. Maybe they inherited the house from another sim or an older sim, something like that. But the family is made up of like the mum, and then she's adopted 2 kids. So like I said, I'll talk about them in the cast video that I do for them. But I did kind of want to mention them a little bit. Obviously, if you do want to download this house, or if you're not even intending to download it, you're just watching it for the sake of it. Because I do that. I watch speed builds all the time, but I never download the house. I just like watching the speed build. But for those that do want to download it or might want to download it, obviously you don't have to download the family that goes with the house. It's not like absolutely that you must, obviously. Imagine if it were like that, like you upload the house to the gallery and it's like, don't even dare download it unless you download it in the family. You'd be like, okay, not watching your videos anymore. Bossy. But yeah, the house is kind of built for them. It kind of reflects their personality, but at the same time it's also like a bit versatile, so you could have any family live here. It does fit up to 4 sims, but like I said, it was built with 3 sims in mind. So it's the mum, and she's adopted a teenager and a toddler. So yeah, really like the family that I made. I wish I could talk about them now because I keep thinking about them and I keep thinking that I want to play with them. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save it for the cast video because otherwise I'll have no to talk about when I like make that. I've already recorded it, everything. I just need to like edit it and do the voiceover. But anyway, that's another video that I'm not going to talk about because we're doing this video. But yeah, I also did like a study, library, home office type thing. I kind of imagined that the mum's job would be like working from home. Maybe she's like a freelance writer, or I kind of like to think of her as that she's like studied werewolves and then she now writes about them. So she could either write fiction stories about werewolves, or she could write about like parenting werewolves, you know, maybe write some like advice or something like that. She's very family oriented. I kind of imagine that her kids are alive. She is a very like selfless person. She does a lot for others. I imagine that she would be very involved in like the community, and she's kind of got this whole idea that werewolves are mistreated and that they've got a bad sort of reputation for the wrong reasons. I feel like she'd be very like on their side in the whole werewolves versus vampires, like, you know, law and everything. I feel like she would definitely be on the werewolf side. And I also imagine that they've recently moved to Moonwood Mill because she wants her kids to, you know, grow up around werewolves and not feel like isolated growing up around like regular sims or non-occult sims. I feel like she's moved out here for their sake and stuff. So yeah, I imagine that she's just like a really lovely person, and yeah, I really like her. I wish I knew her in real life. I wish she were a real person. Do you ever do that with sims? Do you ever make sims and you're like, oh, I wish you were real? But yeah, she's really nice. And yeah, the teenage daughter, do you know what? I said I wasn't going to talk about it and I've started talking about it, but I'm gonna shut up talking about the family. But yeah, either way, that's the family. Adoptive mum, 2 daughters, and I kind of imagined that they would also have a dog, but I didn't want to use cats and dogs, so yeah, I didn't make a dog or anything like that with them, and I didn't put space for pets because, like I said, I just wanted it to be base game and werewolves. But yeah, I kind of imagined that they would also have a dog as well. I also got a comment ages ago, and I think somebody mentioned it on stream as well, to make a werewolf family home for like a mixed household, so non-werewolf sims and then werewolf sims. I'm sure it was my friend Jasmine Paris, but it might have also been a comment on YouTube. I can like kind of visualize it being in my Twitch chat and also as a YouTube comment. Like I can picture like the font and the colour of the chat and everything, but I just can't remember who said it. And I've got 2 images in my head of it like being mentioned, so I don't know who said it exactly, but thank you for the suggestion. So yeah, the whole, you know, mixed household, I quite like that idea, and I like how the house turned out because of it. I think that the mum of the house, she would really sort of like put her kids first, so everything in the house is kind of like tailored for them. And yeah, I also really like how the toddler room turned out. I think it might be, I was going to say maybe that's my favourite room, but I think actually the teenager room's my favourite. But yeah, I do really like how the toddler room turned out. I quite like the colours that I used, and I love the little wall decals. They're so cute, and they really like reflect a lot of like, I don't know like what the term is, but not whimsical, maybe whimsical, but I don't know, they're just very like child friendly. I love them. I think they look really cute. And yeah, the toddler's room, pretty basic. I love that toddler bed. I think it looks really cute. I want more canopy beds like that, beds that have got like a big frame on them. The one that we got with, is it Eco Lifestyle? I love that one as well, the toddler bed that we got with that. We need more beds like that, please. But yeah, it's quite just a basic room, but I do think it looks quite cute. I like the little wall decals, like I said, and I just put down like the basics in their room. Some, you know, little place to read when they become a child. They've got some toys. I also like giving toddlers that Wabbit tablet because it takes care of all the skills and they get a lot of entertainment from it as well. This toddler is definitely a Wabbit tablet toddler. I wanted to say iPad kid, but they're not iPads, are they? But yeah. And then for the teenager room, this is my favourite room. I think just because I think it's got a lot of personality to it. She's got like this flowery kind of childish wallpaper that I imagine that she had when she was a kid, and she, you know, she's got a bit older, she's not got around to changing it or redecorating, but she's got a double bed, you know, she's got elements where she's sort of like, it's clear that she's older, but she's still got those like remnants from her childhood. She's got like a computer and everything where she can do creative things or talk to her friends. I kind of imagine that she's a bit like a loner sim. Her traits are that she's hot-headed and creative, but I kind of imagine that because she's a teenager now and she, you know, she's a werewolf, that she would kind of keep herself secluded from people that aren't werewolves. So maybe her friends at school, you know, maybe they don't know that she's a werewolf, and she's a bit like, you know, she's in this in-between place where she's both proud of it and proud to be a werewolf, but also a bit like embarrassed, which I think is quite like a common thing for teenagers. I know when I was a teenager, and even now, like there's parts of my identity that for the most part I'm like proud of, but sometimes I just get these like feelings where I'm just like, oh, I hate being this, or, you know, it's too difficult being this, I'm sick of it. Like I get it with like a bunch of things, like my, you know, my sexuality, my autism. Sometimes, like recently I've had this thing where I keep thinking, oh, I wish I could like just be normal, or I wish I could just get on with stuff. And then I feel like really guilty, and I'm like, oh, I should never think stuff like that, because, you know, it's basically like being ableist towards myself. So yeah, I think it's quite a normal thing to feel, and I think a lot of people kind of relate to stuff like that, where you both have this kind of thing that you feel bad about, but you also are proud of it at the same time. I think a lot of teenagers go through stuff like that, like you're in this weird place, and yeah, that's basically what she's like. She's both proud of her werewolf like heritage. I imagine that she's a descendant of other werewolves, and maybe something happened to her parents, or they maybe had to give her up. And yeah, she's kind of proud of it, but it's also like, is that the reason that she was given up? Like there's a lot of stuff there. And I said that I wasn't going to talk about the family, and here I am talking about the family. But yeah, then moving on to the upstairs hallway. That little shelf thing, I mean, it's not little, it takes up the entire wall, but that shelf fits all the collectibles that you get through, I think it's through scavenging, where like the werewolves dig the ground and stuff, and the little cowplant skull fits that little glass case thing perfectly. It's such a good idea. We need more stuff like that, where it's like a shelf where the collectibles fit and it's all like perfect and everything. Because we've got, when we get to work, you know, we collect the elements and stuff, and it's like a periodic table type thing. I love stuff like that. I just think it makes the game feel, I don't know, like you've got a proper goal in mind and you set them all down and stuff. I like that. And then I did this little like sunroom thing. Not much to really say about it because it's such like a small room, but I did want like a little sunroom on the side just maybe a place for the Sims to just sit and like do whatever, maybe listen to a bit of music, read. That's basically all they can do here, to be fair. Sit and read, or sit and listen to music, potentially have a little bit of a dance. But yeah, I just wanted a little sunroom thing on the side of the house just to add a bit of like interest to the exterior and make it like look nice. I was looking at pictures on Pinterest as well, and I'm trying to remember, I think I did use a reference picture for the shape of the house for this one. I also started off using a floor plan when I first started streaming, but the floor plan that I was using by Rolo's Floor Plans, who I always use their floor plans, it just didn't fit on this lot like too well. It were a bit too big. I think that were for a 40 by 30 lot, and I think this lot is a 30 by 30, so they're a little bit too big for it. But I did take a vegetable garden idea from that floor plan, so they do have like a little vegetable patch in the back. Also, if you just heard a weird noise, it was my wrist cracking, because when I talk my arms are all over the place. I do try to sit still, but for some reason when I'm recording a voiceover, my hands are like, you know when someone's talking to you about something and they're quite expressive with the hands? I only really seem to do that when I'm doing a voiceover. I don't know why. I think it's to help me like concentrate, I don't know, but yeah, just doing the vegetable patch now. And I placed down some, it's all base game plants, but I placed them down from the gallery, apart from the carrots and potatoes, because I couldn't find them on the gallery. But basically, if you ever want to like make something where the plants are already like ready and you don't want to have to like have your sim like plant it all and, you know, do it themselves, you can just download them off at gallery. You just search like plants and then filter it by room and then base game or whatever pack you want. And that's basically how I did it. And people upload them in like a little square or something. Some people have uploaded every single one, but they take up too much room, so I like to use the little square ones and then yeah, place them down like that. I can't remember who I downloaded them from. If I can find out, I'll put the name in the description, but you should be able to find people easily where you can download them yourselves. And yeah, really useful rather than having your sim like plant them all yourself, which I did show footage of my sim just planting the potatoes and carrots just to show you. I don't know why I even kept that in. I guess it was just to show you that I got those myself. And then I built this little like stone path around the side of the house. For the fence that goes around the house, I wanted it to look quite like realistic and not like perfect and like all put together, lined up, all squared up and all that. I wanted it to be like it's been there for years and it, you know, it's a bit worn, it's a bit weathered, parts of it have like fallen down and whatever else, or even like sunk into like the flooring, not the flooring, the ground. But I wanted it still to be closed off, so I did that by adding more trees and bushes and stuff, and I've play tested it. Sims shouldn't just be able to randomly walk through, but there might be gaps, so just keep that in mind. Best way to fill them up is just to put those like low-lying yellow flowers, those like base game ones that are like 30 simoleons or whatever. And then yeah, for the rest of the garden, I also put down a climbing frame. For some reason I thought that we had swings in base game, but I think I was thinking of the ones from Seasons. It's really annoying that we don't have swings in base game, but you know, it's what it is. I thought a swing would fit really nicely where I put that climbing frame, but we don't have them, so I didn't put one down. And the kids have got a climbing frame which nobody in the house can use at the minute because they're just a toddler and a teenager. So I feel like a swing would have been good though, because you know, when the toddler ages up, she can use it, and then the teenager could just like sit on it like they do in Sims 2. But never mind. And then I also did like a little shed, which basically is not really used for much, like the shed itself. I did put a woodworking table in there, but it's the basement underneath the shed that's like the main like thing about it. Like that's why it's there. I kind of imagined that the mum of the family would have built some sort of like basement to that shed, just to have a safe place where her kids can rampage and stuff whenever they need to do that. And I feel like that would be like a good option. I did the same thing in the Werewolf Shack, like whatever it was called, that video. I did the same thing in that, but this one's just a bit smaller. And yeah, it's just like a place where the Sims can go, and you know, you get the other Sim to lock the door and then they just rampage in there. And yeah, that's really about it for the build. I don't really know what else to say about it other than I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that you like how the build turned out. For some reason as well, I also put a stolen ATM machine in the shed. Not really sure what possessed me to do that and what like my thought process was. I think I'm going to go with the idea that the werewolf sim, the teenager, when she had like her first rampage, she stole that and brought it back here. Kind of like a cat does when they bring back like a dead bird or something and they leave it on your back doorstep. Maybe she did that, I don't know. We'll go in with that anyway because I don't know the other reason why I would do that, but yeah. And then the rest of the room where the Sims can rampage, it's just a basic room really. It's got a bed, it's got a chair and a bit of music and stuff and some posters. But when the Sims rampage, they don't really do anything, so it's not like you can, when I say they don't do anything, I mean you can't get them to do anything. They just kind of do their own thing. So they might smash everything up, which, you know, it is what it is. That's a werewolf for you. But I didn't want to leave it like empty. I kind of wanted it to have something in. And it could also be a place for the teenager to like have a bit of like privacy and alone time, like even more so than her own bedroom. But yeah, anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to end the voiceover here because we're nearly at the screenshots. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you enjoyed the build as well. If you did, feel free to leave a like on it and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I hope you have a good rest of your day and I'll see you later. Bye!